What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Martin, aka Level, here on the Level Up channel, and today we are here to react to Jimin, Like Crazy, the official music video. Now, in my last reaction, I did react to Jimin, and for the first time, and you guys were spamming like you wouldn't believe. This song was recommended so many times. Like Crazy, Like Crazy, Like Crazy, react to Like Crazy, please do Like Crazy. And I got to be crazy to not do it. I'm sorry. I had to do it. And all jokes aside, you all were wanting me to react to this music video. A lot of you, in fact. I did get a lot of other recommendations, and I have now officially decided who I am going to react to next as far as the BTS members go, and that is going to be the homie RM. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't forget about him. I promise. He's going to be coming next onto the channel. And then I can't lie, we're going to make a slight detour back to JK because I got a few other songs I want to react to when it comes to him. But today's not about RM. It's not about my homie JK either. Today's about Jimin again. Like Crazy. Again, the official music video. We are here to check that out today, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I was gone yesterday. It was indeed my birthday on the 5th, so I celebrated my birthday by just taking the day off. But I'm back, folks. The birthday's gone, and I'm moving forward. So let's not waste no more time. If you could please leave that like, comment, and subscribe, as this really does help out the channel moving forward. Without any further ado, let's get into the music video. I don't really know what to expect, but it's got to be crazy.
We could last forever. I'm afraid that everything will disappear.
Just trust me.
You're getting awfully close there, Jimin.
Baby, 생각하지 마. There's not a bad thing here tonight. Baby, 떠나도 좋아. 있어 전에까지 마. Watch me go, and I just 밤새도록 away. 아침도 취했어 오지 않게.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to pause it because already, you know, I get the vibe that we're going for here. First of all, that man is beautiful. I mean, just fucking look at him. From the hair to the forehead to the eyebrows to the eyelashes to the eyes to the nose to the lips to that insane crispy ass jawline to them ears. It looks like God himself took his time creating this man. I can't stress that enough, folks. But I will say, in the last song that I reacted to, I got to hear a different kind of Jimin. What I had heard the first time I initially reacted to the introduction hour-long video that I was recommended, I got to hear Jimin's voice a little bit. And for the first time, I actually get to hear that softer tone. In the last tone, that beat was fucking insane. The vocals were fucking insane. He was everywhere, all over the place. He wasn't too soft on his voice like I had heard in that introduction video to BTS, and now I get to finally hear it. There's very much a softer tone to his voice, and I'm assuming that's more of his true nature. His true voice is more of that softer tone, as opposed to the aggressiveness that he kind of used in his last song, which he has the ability to do. It's definitely different, that's for sure. So I'm kind of just noticing a few things here. So first of all, we do go back to the beginning of the room where he's by himself. The room is initially like really clean. It's really nice, really simple. Nothing too crazy about it. After the light flashes, we now get him like surrounded by what looks like just mud. Yeah, have you ever heard the saying like I had to get out the mud, which is a term for like I had to get out of the bottom. You know, I was stuck in a place that, you know, I didn't want to be in. I had to get out of that place to get to where I am today. I noticed that he's all alone. He's all by himself in the mud, or at least he probably feels like he's stuck in a place that he cannot get out of. Now, throughout the song, he does reference baby this, baby that. Is he referring to himself, or is he referencing somebody else that I'm not aware of? Maybe that he was in love with somebody. Another thing that kind of just caught me off guard, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to pay attention a lot better, is this hand that does have the mud all over it. And it's not till after this, like, he's in the club and it seems like he's vibing. But honest to God, he's surrounded by so much alcohol. He's surrounded by people that are like him. It's like he legitimately is stuck now around people who are doing the exact same goddamn thing. Bad habits, maybe like drinking or drugs, loss of faith, no feeling of having no love, people who are just at the bottom. Now, what kind of threw me off guard was this hand that had mud all over it. It's real subtle, but it grabs him and pulls him in, either another part of himself or someone else that's trying to drag him down even further. He walks into this club where it looks like people are halfway fucking dead. I mean, they almost look like zombies. There's a party, music, and tons of alcohol, but there's no vibe. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, he's barely moving his fucking hands. Nobody's really feeling this shit, and he looks very concerned. Also, I do notice this, what looks like a rose in the background. I don't know if that's just a random light or if that truly signifies something. Again, y'all let me know down below. What's crazy is, like, as soon as the alcohol kicks in, you can kind of see, like, this girl smiling over here. It's like she's also under the influence of something that's giving her more so like a temporary happiness. It's not long lasting. It's something temporary. But while they are under the influence of something for a couple moments to an hour tops, or whatever the case, as long as they're under the influence, they're in a whole different space where they can like escape the mud that they're truly stuck in or the lifestyle that they're living. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely missing the point, but I just kind of wanted to point that out. I went way too much into this. Let's finish the song. It's funny he says that he feels like he's wasting time because he feels alive. Let's be honest, nobody's going to be more honest with you than the person looking directly back at you in front of the mirror. I can't even lie. I've been here a few times, and honest to God, I'm completely open with you guys. I'm going to level with y'all. I'm of age to drink. Remember, drink responsibly, 21 years and up. But when I started drinking, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I started drinking for the wrong reasons. I can't even lie. I was in a state that I didn't want to be in, and nothing was working, and I thought drinking would help. It did help while I was drinking. After the buzz or the feeling that I got from drinking wore off, I was back to my shitty ass self again. I was down, I was depressed, I was hopeless, or whatever the case. I no longer drink like that anymore. It was only for like a subtle period. I regret ever doing it. It was the dumbest thing ever, and I don't recommend that anybody should ever go to drugs, alcohol, smoking, or any other form of bad habit as a way of trying to make yourself feel better. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to do, and I don't ever recommend it. There are many positive things out there in the world that you can do to make yourself feel better. But I've been here before where I've looked myself in the mirror and I would talk about what the hell I was doing. And half the time I didn't want to listen to myself, even if it was the truth. And I feel like this is exactly what he's doing. This is the point of him looking himself in the mirror, eye to eye, and legitimately asking himself, what the hell are we doing? Look what we've become. Look who you are at this point. And why are you doing this? I think it's funny how he turns away from the mirror like, whatever. I'm feeling so alive. I'm wasting my time even talking to you, meaning himself. Like, this is the first time in a long time I've been this happy, or I've been this relieved of my stress and stuff. I'm not gonna just give it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the downside, is it's easy to get sucked into the feeling of what these habits can provide for you feeling wise and stuff like that. It can take you away for a little while, But eventually it all wears off and you're back to the same spot. Again, it doesn't bother me to put my business out there. I don't care. I no longer do that. I no longer drink for that. When I'm drinking now, it's with friends to have a good time. And that's the way it should be. But I'm very open about and honest about how it originally started. I'm not happy about it, but something I can definitely relate to.
So much like wasting time. I'd rather be lost in the lights, lost in the lights. I'm out of my mind. Impame che ci appaggiamo. You spin me up high, non incremental. Let me have a taste.
Damn.
Alone again. What's the point?
Wow. And I can't even lie. This is why reacting to the videos with the song helps a lot more. If I was just listening to it, I would have interpreted that a whole lot differently, which I guess is something that these geniuses, because that's exactly what they are, that's the point that they're trying to make. Just listening to the song, you get a whole different interpretation and a whole different feeling from just listening to it, as opposed to having something to connect it to visually, like a music video, and I get a whole different kind of feeling from it. I mean, you saw I'm willing to express my own past and emotions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It helps me connect with y'all even better. And I want you to know and understand that their music does touch me in a certain kind of way. And that's how. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. It was kind of relatable. I can't even lie. But this song was crazy. Now, let's see if there's an explanation video for it. Already, I used Bookish Theories the last time on my last reaction of Jimin, and we're going to do the same. They did not disappoint, so I will leave a link to this video in the description down below, as well as the original video that we just saw, Like Crazy, the music video. I'm going to leave that link in the description down below. Make sure to go check out both if you haven't already, which I'm sure you beautiful people have, and leave that thumbs up on their videos, as well as this video, please. It helps out a lot. Appreciate it. All right, now let's see what I missed, because I know it was a lot.
Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories.
Her accent, beautiful. It's just, some people might laugh and giggle at it. It makes me smile. I love it. And she has a great, cute little accent and voice. I love it.
Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, we'd like to talk about Jimin's Like Crazy, focusing on a little breakdown and analysis of the lyrics in a music video to see what they can tell us about the concept and story of this solo debut. Like
Let's get it.
Crazy is a song that, among others, was also co-written by both Jimin and RM. According to the press release, the track describes the feelings of turning a blind eye to reality and running away from it in order to forget the pain. In this cinematic debut, Jimin traps himself in a dream of love he doesn't want to be saved from. As he confirmed in his letter to Ami, both the title and the concept of the song were actually inspired by one of his favorite movies. As it turns out, the track owes its title to Like Crazy, which is a movie from 2011 starring Anton Yelchin and Felicity Jones. This is the story of two people facing the struggles of a long-distance relationship that causes them a lot of pain despite the love they share, and the movie was so impactful in Jimin's creative process that he decided to sample the dialogue and use it in the song. Like
Wow.
Crazy begins and ends with some key moments of the lover's dialogue, and Jimin chose those sections because they expressed exactly what he wanted to say. Following this direction, the seductive song that Like Crazy seems to be on a first listen actually becomes the sad story of a person trying to cope with the loneliness of a love gone wrong. The protagonist of our story is so scared to be left alone.
Yeah, again, same here, Jimin. I don't know. I mean, obviously you're writing in that perspective. I don't know if that truly happened to you. But you definitely hit the nail on the coffin. That's for sure. And that's the thing that's even better. If he truly did go through a love that went wrong and that's what he's truly writing is his feelings, that leaves the man pretty vulnerable. I mean, that's much respect. It's not easy to admit the things that you were doing and the way that you feel and just put it out there for all the world to hear. But imagine if that wasn't the case and he's never had something like that. Maybe he's never truly been in love. Maybe he's really, really liked somebody. But as far as significant others goes, maybe he's never truly been in love. And imagine he's never had to go through this experience. The creative mindset to be able to write about something that you have no experience in and execute it so well is outstanding. I mean, it's mind-blowing, honestly, to think that somebody who hasn't even gone from it can write exactly what someone else truly feels without even experiencing it.
Gone wrong. The protagonist of our story is so scared to be left alone that he's ready to be seduced by the illusion of a perfect love that will only cause him more pain on the long run. Falling into the temptation of his loved one, Jimin loses himself in a dream that makes him fade away. The thing is that he chooses to lose himself in this dream because he refuses to face the reality that this love only brings him misery. He doesn't want to be saved. He'd rather get lost in the lights and lose his mind rather than confront the truth and be alone. So he embraces the madness because this very madness is the only thing that makes him feel alive. Even if this illusion is making him fall, Jimin doesn't want to wake up because if he does, reality will break him. In the song, his only wish is to find a way to dream on, but by the end he's alone once again, forced to face the fact that that dream only made it worse. Now in the video, this concept is expressed with a dreamlike experience that perfectly conveys the state of mind of our protagonist. At the beginning, for instance, the video opens with Jimin in a nightclub. As the camera zooms into his eye, however, the video reveals that this is a dream he's having while he's home alone. Right off the bat, this is a very great opening because Jimin's two worlds are introduced in a matter of seconds. You have the person in reality, lost in an illusion that helps him cope with the loneliness, and then you have the man in the dream, willingly losing himself in a fantasy full of passion and emotion.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know that. It kind of makes sense now that I'm seeing it. I thought this was just the same person in reality, showing, again, even though he's lonely, this is just the better part of his situation right now, and then showing where he's about to be, or at least showing where he's at one point in the video, as opposed to where he originally started. I didn't think that this was reality versus a dream. I thought these were both just realities. And then he has to come back to his senses in order to get back at least to this point. Again, you could definitely see the colors. Things are a lot darker. And in the reality, things are a little bit more lively, more color. Makes sense.
Two worlds are initially easy to tell apart, but the moment Jimin imagines to be taken away by his loved one, the dream takes over reality to the point that the two almost overlap. He is willingly seduced by the fantasy of his lover. He wants that to be real, so he runs into a dreamy scenario where he's constantly looking for that person. Now, the club is actually a very interesting choice here because in a way the setting embodies all the feelings and fantasies the song is all about. Since it's a dream, the entire club is a representation of his state of mind. Sure, we see Jimin having fun in it. He's drinking, partying, but we also see the place heating up, the people around him kissing each other, and this all represents him because everything is happening inside of his head. This is why in the video everything is out of focus except for him. What we're seeing here is Jimin's dream, and he is in a daze because he wants to be. He wants to fade away because that is the only way to reconnect with the person that he loves. Even if he wants to stay in the dream, however, his own mind seems to pose some resistance to this idea. As he tells us that he'd rather be lost in the lights, for instance, we see that Jimin is going against the tide of people heading in the opposite direction.
And you know what? That's the crazy part. I originally thought he picked the bar, one, because alcohol is one way to erase the pain. But I also thought of it a second way, as opposed to the way that she kind of just described. I thought maybe it's the place that they first met. I know that if I was in the same situation, one of the first things I would want to remember is the place that we first met, trying to relive those moments so that I can get that same happiness that I had got initially when we had first met. So I thought that was another reason he might have just picked the bar setting. Not only because of the alcohol. People go to bars to have fun, to drink, to hang out with friends and socialize and honestly meet other people. I thought the bar was just another setting for the place that they first met. And on another note, Nipple.
direction. It's almost like he's forcing himself to go the wrong way in order to stay in the dream, and this only leads him to lose his mind in the process. The most obvious sign that this fantasy is not as good as it seems, however, is definitely the mud, which is a recurring symbol throughout the video as a whole. When
Yeah.
Jimin first enters the dream, we see the house suddenly getting covered in mud. When he says he doesn't want to be saved, mud starts leaking down the walls. When he's about to leave the club, he leaves muddy footprints. By the end, Jimin comes back to reality with a muddy hand, and with this same hand, he eventually smudges the camera, metaphorically covering his whole image with mud. Now, this is a very significant imagery here, because in dream symbolism, mud can actually represent stagnation. It can symbolize the feeling of being trapped in a situation, or even imply that the dreamer is unsure of what direction to take in life. If we apply this symbolism to the story Jimin is telling us, its meaning becomes very evident. If on one hand the club represents his fantasy of love, on the other, the mud represents his inability to move on
from it.
from it. As the dialogue from Like Crazy suggests, by the end Jimin is alone again, and hopeless to say the least. Even if he was able to come back to reality, the mud on his hand very much implies that he's still stuck, he's still stagnant, and therefore unable to set himself free. If we follow the order of the album, then will only happen at the end with Semi-Free Part 2, so to better understand the meaning behind that song, you can check out that video as well. In the meantime, however, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Oh, shit. So I probably should have watched this one first and then Set Me Free Part 2. But at least I know by the end of the album, he's free. He's over those feelings. He's over those emotions. And my boy was reborn as a new man. Shout out to Jimin. Y'all told me to react to this video. I just didn't think I was going to get in my goddamn feels when I did it. So thanks, guys. No, but on a real note, I absolutely love you guys. I absolutely love that y'all recommended this song. Again, the homie RM's coming up next. I've seen all the comments for him too. He's coming up next, I promise. But that doesn't mean that I'm done with Jimin. It just means that I'm going to start introducing another member of the BTS into my YouTube channel. Jimin will still come around, I promise. JK and Suga, I didn't forget about you. And then as far as the others, again, just as far as the other beautiful members of the group, y'all just let me know down below in the comment section. After you please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel a lot. Also, consider subscribing. There are lots of you who are just watching, engaging, but not subscribing. And subscribing really, really, really does help out the channel moving forward. I say that all the time. It would really mean a lot. The channel would significantly grow if you guys would just please hit the thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Again, as this really does help out the channel moving forward. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. God bless you all. And until next time, peace.